In this video today, I'm going to show you producers how to stay organized and to make beats much faster because of it. Let's get into the video. What's good, gang? Welcome back to another video. It's me and they call me Heat. If this is your first time watching the channel today, I'm a music producer of over 10 years. And on my channel here, I show producers how to make some of the best boom bap style beats. So if you like any of the content that you see today, please make sure that you subscribe and you turn on all notifications just so you don't miss any more videos after today. All right, I wanted to talk to everybody just about ways to, keep yourself organized as a music producer. How can you do that? Like what does that look like as a music producer? What does that look like in my DAW? What does that look like for me just in general, right? I'm gonna just mainly be talking about the ways to stay organized within like your DAW and your computer, you know what I mean? Just so that you are able to create faster, essentially. A lot of people like to get things done ASAP, like right then and there, like they just like to take care of things at the drop of a dime, right? Snap of a finger. It's not impossible, but it is impossible if you're not organized, if you're not prepping, if you're not preparing yourself to be able to handle and attack these things and create, for yourself, things that will allow you to move faster in your process. Now, the first thing that I do want to talk about with this staying organized, keeping yourself organized, and this is a big thing for me, that is creating templates. So I create templates for my sessions, all my sessions, when I'm recording at the studio at the Crack House. If I'm at home here making a beat, if I'm recording at home, I have a template for each thing that I'm doing. Let me show you in FL Studio how I have my template set up and my default settings, right? All right, so here's my FL Studio screen. I have everything in my studio connected to my Apollo interface. My Apollo interface has a Behringer. It's just for more inputs, basically. And basically it gives me 8 extra inputs that I can control on my Apollo through their software. So that machine just connects right in the back. I forget the connection that it's called, like the specific name. And so I have that. So I have, as you see, my mic, which I'm talking through now. It's muted in FL Studio, but I do have the mic already ready to go. So if I'm in the studio with an artist and they're like, yo, I want to drop a verse to that beat that you're doing. Oh, okay, cool. Let me just unmute the mic, and it's already set to a bus channel, which is the vocal bus that I have an EQ, RVox, compression, de-esser, all of that stuff on there, so that when the artist is ready to go, I'm ready to go as well. There's no, oh, let me get the input set up, let me get the settings going, let me get the plugins right. Everything is already in place. So then from there, I have mic input 2, which is basically the second input on my Apollo. And for that, I have my turntable plugged into that. So my turntable would be in that, or it would be in that, but it's actually just an empty input on my interface, actually. Turntable is on the first insert of my Behringer. So that basically, like I said, that's an extra 8 outside of the 2 or 3 that you already get on an Apollo interface. Then you got my mini log, so that's connected to input 2 on my Behringer. My SP404, that's routed in there too, going through input 3 of my Behringer interface or input controller as well. Then I have an aux input, so if I want to maybe hook like a phone or a laptop or something like that, that's connected. And I have an instrument input as well on there, so if I got some instruments or anybody wants to come through, put a bass in, it's already there. Everything's already set. So I have all of my inputs already going, already ready to go, so I don't have to wait and set things up. Everything's already good to go. Then, like I said, I got my vocal bus, which I already went through the plugins that are on that preset. Then I got my pitch correction, which is auto-tune through UAD. That allows me to use lessens the load on the CPU. Even though it can handle it, there's just ways to, when you got 5-10 vocal tracks all in the same key, you got auto-tune there, and you can send them all to that one auto-tune. Then I have a reverb track. I like the reverb. I use Valhalla Room reverb. And then I got some multi-band compression on it. Then I use an EQ to kind of sculpt it. And every song is going to be different. Every beat's going to be different. Everything's going to sound different. But I have that reverb set, and I always change the timing to correspond with the timing of the beat, so that everything is cohesive and I don't have to go searching for a reverb or anything like that. Everything is already put in place. Then you move to the drum bus. So this is basically, I pulled out an FPC, and each one of these FPC pads corresponds with the pads here. So there's 16 pads on this page. Of course, there's 2 banks, but I only set up 16 pads. Reason being is because I rarely ever go over that many sounds as far as when I'm, stacking drums and stuff like that. I've never really used more than 16 drum sounds. Now percussion sounds, things like that, I may go crazy on. So though I didn't really, because most of the time I'm putting those on the playlist, time stretching, things like that. So I don't use that for that. Then I do have FL keys as like my main sound. So when I start FL Studio, I can go right to work right with the keys. I don't have to load anything up. FL Studio loads all this stuff automatically for me. It's all good. Everything's already set up. So that there will help me and speed up my workflow whenever I'm coming down here to create. So whenever I'm in the studio and I'm ready to create, I can create because my template is already loaded and I'm good to go. I'm ready to start working. That's why it's good to always create templates, always create presets, mixer presets, because these presets that I have here, like the vocal bus, if I like how things sound, I can just save that as a preset. And then in my browser, I would usually go and I can then later on, if I make another beat, I can then drag and drop that mixer preset right on a channel. It doesn't have to be that same one. It could be any channel, and then boom, I'm ready to start working. So the next tip I got for you guys is categorizing your drums and your sounds, just your sample banks, your drum kits, your preset bank. I do it by genre. You can do it however you want to do it, but I always do it by genre because let's say I'm working on a hip hop beat and I'm like, yo, I need like a more strappier kind of hi-hat. I know what style of sound I want, and I go right to that genre of sounds, and then I can pull it out. So let me show you what I mean. My browser looks like everyone else's browser. Only difference is I have everything categorized. So I have heat drums, heat kits, heat samples, and heat tags. Now, why do I have a tag folder? That's for the collabs. Anytime I collab with a producer, I'm like, yo, send me your tag. So in the future, if we collab, I got your tag. I don't have to wait on you to send me your tag. I got everybody's tag that I've ever collabed with. It's right in the folder, ready to go. So if we collab again, I'm good to go. I can throw it right in there. I have a samples folder, which has pretty much all of my samples that I've ever downloaded, purchased, anything. I have a vinyl folder. So vinyl albums that were recorded, like the whole album, I have that in there. So that's another folder, so I don't have to go searching for things. Some of this stuff is just one full file, so it's there, but some of them are separated to where, you know, it's the album song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, it's in that folder. Then I have loosies, which is basically sounds or samples that I found that don't necessarily have like a particular home. So I put them in this loosies folder because it's like a loose sound, loose sample, you know, like, you know, just keeping everything organized. It's the best way. Then I have what's called heat kits. So heat kits, you know, you got your drum loop kits, you got your just regular kits, hip hop kits, trap, you know, just kits. That's where all the kits would go. So in a kit, you usually get your kick, hi-hats, snares, claps, cymbals, whatever. That's all in one spot. So I got the heat kits, and under that I have my acapellas. So if I want to use or create a beat, I got the acapellas right there. I usually put them there. I have my company, which is boatloadkits.com. That's where all my samples and drum kits are. boatloadkits.com. Check it out. And I have drum loops. I have an effects folder. I have, you know, my hip hop kit. So any kit that's mainly geared towards hip hop is in this folder. That's been like the way that I've been working with this thing for like the past 2 or 3 years. It's helped me so much because I know specifically where specific kits are. I'm not searching through a slew of folder full of kits. Like I know, okay, I need that one snare, that's in the hip hop kits because that's so and so. I need that clap, that's in the trap kits because that's so and so. Like I know where these things are because I organize them and I keep them together. Last but not least, and I think this is something that's pretty important as well, that a lot of producers skip this. This is a very big organizational piece, and I think a lot of us miss this piece of it. When you're creating your beats, you don't want to just create the beat and just put it in a folder and be like, all right, boom, boom, that's it. Because every beat has samples, drums, specific sounds pertaining to that beat. And let's say you go to open up a beat one day and, you know, your hard drive crashed. Now your session is looking for all of those sounds and you don't have them because you didn't make a specific session folder specific to what you were working on. So let's say you're working on beat A. You save beat A, but then when you make beat B, you make a folder for beat B and you save beat B in that folder, and now it has all the sounds and everything. But when you go to open beat A, after your hard drive crashed a while ago with all your sounds on it, now beat A won't open because sounds are missing. But beat 2 will, or beat B will open because you made a specific folder and all the sounds are in there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So majority of the time in mine, or all the time actually, for years I've done this. I think I started this in about 2014-ish, 2015-ish. Basically what I do is in FL Studio, if I'm ever making a beat, I always start with the year. So boom, we got every beat that I've made in that specific year will go into that folder. Then I start with the month. So the month that I'm making those beats, they will go into that folder. So we're in January, so here's January. So all of the beats that I've made this month are here right in January's folder. Inside of here, you will see the FL Studio folder. Let me actually show you what it looks like though. And after I've saved my session and saved all my sounds in it with FL Studio, let me show you what it looks like. Now, when I made this beat here, I saved it, named it, put it into the January folder because I made it in January, put it in 2022 beats because it is 2022. Happy New Year to everybody. Then I named it. I named the actual the beat. So I went January, been so long, I made a folder. This is the beat. The folder will be the beat name. Make a folder. In there, I save the beat from FL Studio. I save it in that folder. Once I save it in that folder, in FL Studio, there is an option to save project data files. I have a video on this, so I'm not gonna go into depth on how to do that. You save the project data files, and every single audio file from your beat will be in that specific folder, so that later on, again, if your hard drive ever crashed, guess what you didn't lose? All those sounds that you used in that beat, because everything is there for you. Everything stays in that one specific spot. So now with that being said, and you knowing that, okay, I won't ever lose a beat if I save it like this, or if I have, things in the organizational spot, the last thing that you want to do is you want to ensure that you never lose that beat ever again, or you never lose those sounds ever again. So what you would do is after you've made your beat, you track that thing out, meaning you export all the files as separate files from that session, and you put them in a folder, you zip it up, and you save it in a specific spot like MediaFire, WeTransfer, somewhere, some cloud online, Google Drive or something like that, so that if anything ever happens to your hard drive, you have all of the files from that specific beat that you thought that you lost. So you technically didn't lose it because you tracked it out, it was available. Now you can go back and you can just take the snare out of there, or take the kick out of there, and you can recover your sounds that way. So that's why I save my beats, and that's why I save all my sounds the way that I save them, because I know that that's something that can really help and really take things to the next level and speed up my workflow. I don't want to get into my session and be looking for sounds, or be looking for presets, or be looking for settings, or trying to set stuff up every single session. Like, I want to get in here, I want to get to work, and I want to do it fast. I don't want to do it slow. I don't want to, I want it to be done really quickly. So that's why I always keep myself organized, and I keep things in one specific spot. So I hope this information helps somebody out there, trying to take their music to the next level, or just trying to be more organized as a producer. Because I know that being a producer, we're like some of the most unorganized creators. I think just creatives in general are unorganized, just because we're not worried about keeping things clean. We're worried about creating something and creating the next thing. So speeding up your workflow is always going to be the best thing that you should do, and speeding it up with these tips here will definitely take things to the next level. And if you have any other tips that maybe could help some producers, leave them in the comments below and let's talk about it. Let's help some more producers out there. Let's help people, speed up their workflow. Let's help people, or producers, I don't want to just say people, but producers, let's help them be more creative and not have to worry about settings and finding sounds and things like that. If you have everything already in the right spots and organized by names, dates, or genre, or sound style or whatever. Hence why a lot of the VSTs that you get, they allow you to find sounds by a style of sound, or the genre of the sound. It just helps you find things faster. It's easy, it's organizational, that's what we need as creatives. So if you found this video helpful or useful in any type of way, and you took anything from this video, or if you were already doing anything in this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Give the video a like for sure. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already, and turn on all notifications as well, just so you don't miss any more videos after today, all right? So I would hate for you to miss content like this in the future, okay? Be sure to become a Boom Bap Master on Patreon. If you like any of the content, if you want any sounds from me every week, I do give sounds weekly. And I also do the producer crate, where I give sounds, drums, all of that every month as well on the producer crate on Patreon. So patreon.com/TheycallmeHeat. Go holla at me there. Join the Discord below for free. The Heat Cafe, it's the Boom Bap community. It's about 900 producers in there. So come join us, come have fun, come flip some samples every week. Yeah, and I'm up out of here. And until next time, y'all, I hope I inspire somebody to go create. Peace.